I'm Marisol Estrella. I work with the United Nations Environment Program. I was here to organize, together with IUCN, International Union for the Conservation of Nature, on behalf of the Partnership for Environment and Disaster Risk Reduction, a session looking at environment and disaster risk reduction and how to translate this into practice. And in this session, we looked at the challenges and opportunities of applying an ecosystem-based approach for disaster risk reduction and how to mainstream this into national and local development planning. So there were many challenges that were discussed, obviously, and many of them are already known to us, including poor urban planning, poor governance, lots of legal obstacles, livelihood priorities competing with DRR priorities. So many of the challenges we already know, but we also focused on how to move forward. And I would like to just highlight some of the things that participants, as well as the panel speakers, highlighted. And this was to really ensure that development investment and development planning translate into disaster risk reduction outcomes, and that this be measured and be held accountable by development planners. And in order to do so, we must also be able to demonstrate the multiple benefits that ecosystems provide for disaster risk reduction, not only for hazard mitigation, but also for livelihoods, employment generation. And to be able to cost this, to value it, to monetize the services that ecosystems provide in order to convince the ministries of planning and finance. And I think this is really the most critical gap that we need to work on in the next couple of years. And finally, still beyond the economic argument is still the need to strengthen institutional coordination mechanisms at the country level, which is severely lacking. And this was also highlighted by our speakers from India and Cote d'Ivoire, that coordination mechanisms are not there in order to facilitate integrated planning. So this must go hand in hand with the economics of looking at disaster risk reduction and ecosystem-based approaches. So I would like to thank everybody for coming to our session. The Partnership for Environment and Disaster Risk Reduction will be looking at these issues that we've raised over the next coming years, because UNEP, for instance, and as well as IUCN, will be implementing pilot country-level projects on ecosystem-based disaster risk reduction. And these are some of the issues that we will take into account in designing and implementing some of these projects. Thank you.